And welcome to your, let me get that music up. And welcome to your LSU Football Fix. I'm Preston Guy, staff writer at TigerBait.com. Today's show is presented by Tramonte's Meat and Seafood. Y'all go make sure to check them out. Remember, good meat ain't cheap. Cheap meat ain't good. They've got plenty of your single barrel whiskey bourbon reserves to go check out. All the goods. And guys, I'm hearing that soon enough, Tramonte's will be serving up crawfish. Not yet, but it's coming soon. So it's that time of year that's very exciting because we all get crawfish. What's not exciting is LSU's basketball team. They just got blasted again. Looks like final score is 40-60. LSU drops to 1-7 in the SEC, and that's really sad because this Arkansas team was. Yeah, I mean, SEC is stacked this year. I mean, admittedly, like if LSU was going to finish 500 in SEC play, that might have been acceptable this year because of just how good the SEC was. But here we are, LSU 1-7 conference play. Not exactly what you're looking for. Michael Stein says, "Hi, what's up, Michael?" LSU men's basketball, 7th straight loss. Tough year for McMahon. I mean, no doubt, tough year for McMahon. Y'all know this isn't a basketball show, but I'll say this about it. You know, you got to consider that he did inherit a team with 0 scholarship players. You know, it's a tough spot to be in. So let's give him some time. But yeah, I mean, you gotta turn this thing around eventually, man. I mean, he did bring in a ton of talent. Let's see if they can do something. It's easier to build a basketball program than it is to build a football program, but we'll see. But a program that's looking very good, maybe not women's basketball good, but good, is LSU's football program. So tonight, I'm going to be joined by the LHSAA all-time leading rusher, Trey Holly. I'm excited to talk with him. I've got some, I want to see what it's like for an onboarding student athlete. What's Jake Flint's system looking like? How's he feel about the playbook already? So interesting to get those perspectives out of Trey. I'll also be talking about, a couple recruiting updates and a couple news items. So we all know it's kind of a slow time of year. Next week is National Signing Day on Wednesday. Mike and Buddy, of course, be live on Wednesday. They'll be live tomorrow to break it down. I'm not expecting LSU to do too much with it. I do know there's one guy I've got my eyes on heavy for the 2023 class. But regardless, we'll do another recap of the final look at the class. So next week will be the final show of the year for us. As we know, football news gets really unbearably slow. I could probably do a monthly show and be just fine until August. So August 1st, the show will pick right back up, but we do take a break from February to August with the LSU weekly show. So if y'all have any suggestions on who you'd like to see on the show, I've got a couple guys I'm talking to, but if you want to see someone as a final guest, hit me up, man. I'm open to suggestions. I'll try to make it a little bit of a special final show of the year. We'll go out on a little pizzazz there. Before I continue, I'm going to thank our sponsor who's made our show possible all year, Tramonte's Meat and Seafood. Let's hear from them.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats, ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs, 20 flavors of sausage for the grill, daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
Also need to thank Alumni Hall. Y'all know where I'm going tonight to knock out all my shopping for Valentine's Day, whatever it may be coming up. But y'all know where I'm going. It's Alumni Hall. I've told y'all guys, this is the Willy Wonka of LSU fans. They've got everything you need there. They've got the best apparel for the family, hats, drinkware. Hey, guess what? For me, they've got infant wear. That was something fun I found last time I got in there. Wall art, you name it, they've got it. They've got the bowl game t-shirts. If you want to plaster that big win LSU had over Purdue, they still have those. Remember, LSU students, faculty, and military, they all receive 10% off in store. You can earn cashback rewards with their Hall Pass rewards. So go check out Alumni Hall on Perkins Row or shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate LSU Tiger shopping experience. All right, so guys, I do have a rundown of items to talk about, but I kept it intentionally light so that I would have a little extra time to talk with Trey Holly. Let me double check. Let me follow up. I'm actually going to send him a message, tell him, come on in. And I wanted to give us a little bit extra time to kind of do like, Q&A stuff. If you've got a question, hit me up. Y'all ever watch like an off-season show, Midsummer or something like that, where people ask outlandish questions and the host just annihilates the questioner? Dude, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. Hey, if you got something outlandish you want to talk about, today is your day. Because I don't want to talk about LSU basketball, that's for sure. 1-6. I do not want to sit here and talk about that all day. This is why. Because I can't see LSU winning 4 conference games. You're talking about Adam Miller there is a huge bust. He needs to sit. 4. I mean, honestly, man, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'd have to go down the schedule. But, I mean, the SEC is so ridiculously stacked this year. And I told people before the season, I was like, don't be surprised if this team wins like 3 conference games. It is just so absurdly difficult to go from nobody on your roster to competing for the SEC. Nurse Court, what's up, Nurse? Nice to see you in the show. Saying what's up to Steven and my buddy Steven Miller. Yo, what's good? What's up, Steven? Alrighty. Man, Rodney is just giving man everything tonight. Y'all need to come back tomorrow night for Mike and Buddy to give them hell. At least 3 years before LSU can make the big dance. I disagree, just because in college basketball things can turn around so quickly. Should have a monthly show on LSU baseball till June, then shut down until mid-August. I think it's a great idea. I'm not going to do that because I suck at baseball. I watch baseball as like a fan, but I'm not doing any breakdowns. I mean, I'll watch the games and all that good stuff, but Mike has talked about that in the past. I'll say we've had conversations for a couple years about doing some sort of baseball show, more than probably a monthly show, probably something that would rotate out when my show retires. And then pick up that Tuesday night slot, hopefully not during the games themselves, but a baseball show to talk about till August. But that's never come to fruition, but it's definitely been talked about. Yeah, it's rough weather out there, Steven. Very, very rough weather. And look, baseball team number 1 in the country. I'm excited for them too, man. It looks like the pitching is going to be a lot better this year as well. And they're actually keeping recruits that in the past would have just gone to the MLB every year. See, Nurse Court, you try to take your mind off basketball, and this is the 1 week where I'm like open and talking about basketball. That's okay. I got points to talk about. All right. So news item of the day, LSU opens 2027 in NRG Stadium against Houston. Now, do I actually care about the game itself that will be played in 4 years? No, guys, I'm not going to sit there and tell you, oh yeah, Houston with head coach Dana Holgerson, who might be there, and players who are currently in 8th grade. No. But it is sad to me to see the direction of LSU's scheduling department. I was really hoping with the college football playoff, we would see more marquee home and homes. And this whole neutral site, open the game, whatever, open the season. And I understand LSU loves playing these games in Houston's for recruiting advantages. And it's all hunky-dory for that. I hope for college football and for LSU's sake, I want to see some marquee home and homes. None of this like, okay, we'll play in Orlando, then come to the Superdome. No. I want to see LSU going to Miami and then Miami coming back. Open your season like that. It would be great, man. And hopefully other teams across the landscape also see that. And for season ticket holders, you get an extra home game or half a home game if you're trading, but you get a quality home game to open the season, getting excited, going to Tiger Stadium, even if it were an opponent, say like a Houston. I get the money and all that good stuff, but that's just what I want to see. I might never see it. My hope was that with the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams and teams that will have 2 or possibly 3 losses now going to be considered for the playoffs, that maybe that there's more forgiveness. Okay. You don't have to go undefeated anymore to make the playoffs. Second off, quality wins will speak volumes. Hopefully you'll see teams, maybe this team has 10 wins. They're 10-3, but they have quality wins all up and down their resume. Maybe they'll jump that 10-2 team who didn't even have to play a conference championship or whatever. We'll see. What are we looking like for the February signing day? Any surprises out there? Steven, that's a great question. The one guy I've really got my eyes on is the Chicago defensive tackle, Jamel Howard. Of course, this class did not sign a defensive tackle, which I think is a massive red flag. To get offer on any position is unacceptable, in my opinion. So to bring him in would be a big deal. He's one of the higher rated uncommitted guys. He's only a 3-star player, but of the guys left on the board, he is higher up. And 6'3", 320. Take a guy like that and bring him in and develop him. That's what Brian Kelly wants to be doing anyways. I would love to see Jamel Howard join on this class. And Steven, the other thing is, any surprises? Of course there's going to be a surprise. I don't know who. That's why it's a surprise. But that is where I would look to. Rodney Kraft with some positivity. I like our new coach. He took over a dumpster fire. Agreed. I hope he can recruit shooters and skilled players. I'll say this. He recruited much better than I thought he would be able to last year. Stephen Miller with another high-end question here. Here's a football question for 2024. With the possibility of LSU going to a 9-game conference schedule, do you see UCLA and USC and UCLA staying on the schedule? It's a great question, first off. It's 2024, 2025 for USC. Is it 2026 for UCLA? The answer is yes, because it'll be much cheaper to cancel another non-conference game and play those games. Those games are cash grabs. Absolutely. The 9-game conference thing allegedly will start in 2025. I'm almost certain Texas and Oklahoma will one day pony up the money and come early. But as soon as they come, we will see a 9-game conference schedule. And just the financials of it alone, I don't personally predict that they'll cancel those games because of that. Not to mention, coincidentally, while that's going on, I was just talking about that, the college football playoff is expanding to 12 teams. So you've got, more forgiveness for losing a non-conference game. Whereas I think in the past, ADs have just been scared silly to schedule a meaty out of conference schedule, because you lose 2 of those games and you've just eliminated yourself. That was a good question. Yeah, I agree, Hal Jubin. That was a very good one. Now, look, I don't have sources. I'm just reading the right. I know that breaking that game would have some strong financial implications. Whereas, canceling a rent-a-win against Grambling or whomever, that's nothing. I'd rather keep the home game versus. I think they're going to keep them all. All right, here's Josh Noel. I'm super happy to see the 12-team playoff, which means teams like Tulane could have a chance. Yeah, I'm happy to see it too. I was really hesitant to leave the BCS because college football's regular season is just so darn special, guys. Getting upset in your conference championship and your season's derailed. You have to show up to play every single day. And I think that that's a big reason why the sport has been so successful, why the stadiums are so big, why it's the most successful college sport out there. There's a bunch of other things that it does well too, but I mean, it just means so much. That being said, the 14 playoff kind of took a little bit of that luster away from it. I think about TCU losing to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship. Excuse me, guys. And it meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kansas State went to the Sugar Bowl, and TCU went to the playoff probably at the exact same seed they were going to. So, I understand that they probably would have been on the outside looking in, but at least I just thought about the context of that day of, Michigan playing Purdue and just the whole, how much pressure would have been on that game for Michigan to win. But Michigan knew they had a gimme. It didn't even matter. There was just a lot of that. But that being said, what's also happened since the 14 playoff took place is the bowl games have been greatly diminished. Coaches are bailing on their teams because there's an early signing day and they need to get to their new job and abandon their players and team before they finish the job so that they can build a roster next year and they're not screwed for the next 12 months. Okay. Then on top of that, I think the playoff, just like guys want to be in the playoff. That's what everybody talks about. Playoff this, playoff this. It used to be that the national championship was just one game in addition to a bunch of also one game standoffs. Now there's a playoff with implications and what if this team wins and that. Even if it's a simple one, it's still there. So I think to get your postseason, to get any love whatsoever. All right, Trey Holly just popped in. He's smiling in the backstage. I think he forgot about us a little bit, but that's all good. We're going to bring him up. Anyway, I think that to get players to care about your postseason, to stop the opt-outs of major teams and players, you need a playoff. You need all your good teams there, because if you're not, even you would have thought the New Year's 6 games would have kind of been a luster enough to get guys on board. It's not. Guys are opting out of that like crazy. They just don't care. So you know what? Get rid of the New Year's 6 bowls and make it one big playoff. Have some fun with it. That's my take. Look, Steven, I was just going off the top of my head if that was 24-25. Oh, see, okay. Clemson home and home starts in 25. Now that makes me happy, Nurse Court. The BCS was a big political settle it on the field. And Aaron, that's why the BCS had to die. It was so unpopular. Mike Scarborough loves the BCS, by the way. He says they got it right every year. I'm not 100% sold that they did. I think about the 03 one where LSU could have had a chance at USC instead of Oklahoma, because Oklahoma got clobbered by Kansas State 35-7. They didn't deserve to be there. The computers put them there. And because the team that everybody, the hot, sexy team that the AP poll put at number 1, LSU had to do this split championship garbage, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Nope, Trey Holly stepped away for a second, so we're about to have him in here. Nurse Court. Oh, no, he's still here. Okay, he told me he's all right. I'm going to bring him on. Hey, what's going on, Trey?
What's up? What's up?
Good, man. I'm excited to have you. Are you enjoying your time at LSU?
Most definitely, most definitely. I'm having fun learning and learning. So yes, sir.
Learning. All right, what you learning? Are you learning in the books? Are you learning in the weight room? Are you learning a playbook? What you
Uh,
learning?
I'm learning a lot of stuff. School is way different from high school. The workout
Hmm.
is way different. They're gonna push you even harder to make it feel like well you can't just go no more. But it's a mind thing, a mindset. I chose to be here. This is my dream, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, man. And I know a lot of fans are excited to have you here too, man. All-time leading rusher in LHSAA history. Does it ever dawn on you just how significant that is? How much football has been played, and you're number one all time.
I really like just really just haven't just sat and think about it just yet because I know that like that was just in high school. I started a new level, so I think about like now it's all just like put that to the side and focus on the main goal, which is college and this record.
So, when did you actually get on campus? I know the semester started, what was it, last week or the week before, right?
Yes, sir.
When did you actually get to LSU and move to Baton Rouge?
We arrived. Well, I arrived here January the 14th.
Okay, so like 10 days ago. Okay.
Yeah,
So, you weren't around for any of the bowl prep or anything like that, right?
no sir, no sir.
All right. How is college life in general? Not necessarily the student athlete part, just going to classes and all that good stuff, walking around campus.
It's like way better than high school. You get the help. Like people, they gonna put you in like the right directions to learn. You just gotta like get up and do it yourself. Cause nothing just handed to you. So everything is just it's there for you. You just gotta get up and go get it. Take advantage of that type of stuff. So it's way better. And like hanging around your friends and stuff like that. A bunch of recruits and all. Like now, I was just playing video games with one of the players, Jalen Brown. We were just playing some 2K.
Oh, yeah. Some 2K, huh?
Exactly, exactly. So it's all fun.
So, who won, though?
No, we playing together. We ain't playing
Oh,
against.
you're playing. Oh, come on, man. You're not doing the head to head. Oh, I lost you. Oh, there it is. All
Oh,
right.
oh, okay.
Yeah. No, man. I dig it. How's your map of campus? Do you know where all your classes are? Even.
It's like they like the first week they showed us they was walking us to class and everything like that. But it's not far at all. It's just like one big circle I'm going in each and every day. So that's the good part. I only got like one far class, but
Yeah.
I call that's just my little exercise of the day.
Yeah, I got to walk across campus. Yeah, I had to do a bunch of hoofing. I just remember my first week as a student in LSU. I was just overwhelmed. Where is this at? What is this? This is crazy. I had to
Exactly.
download some map on my phone to figure it out. But I'm sure most of your classes are kind of in that Cox area,
Yeah,
that
it
giant
is.
auditorium.
It is. Everything's just different down here. And my favorite part I like is the weight room area. In the nutrition because keeping your body right. See me coming out of high school, I thought my body was just perfect. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But once I got up here, it was totally different. They got you taking like a bunch of vitamin pills and stuff like that,
Oh.
nutritions and stuff for your body, making you sleep well, eat well, and all of that. And I like that. I love that right there.
See, and this was something I actually wanted to ask about because this whole nutrition thing is kind of new.
Right.
And I wonder, as like, you're in high school. I'm sure the nutrition plan, if at all, was much simpler than this. Is it an adjustment? Doing eating the way they want you to eat and doing all that stuff.
Uh, it's really not what it is, but it's not because they really don't care like what you eat unless you ask to get on a meal plan. See, I haven't asked because I'm trying to gain weight right now.
Yeah.
I want to get up to like 195, but right now I'm trying to gain weight, so they let me eat like the junk food and stuff. I
Mm.
think they got us eating like 3 to 5 times a day over here, so you gonna get fed down here. Yes,
It's good stuff.
man. I ain't gonna lie. Some of it is not what I want, not what I eat, and some of it
Mm.
is we don't like it. They got like chefs to the side. They'll cook you like a burger or some stuff like that, steak, and that's why I'm at mostly every day.
So you want to get to 195. What do you weigh right now?
185. No, 187. 187.
187. Okay, so
Right.
a little bit of lean to add. That's definitely
Exactly.
doable
Well,
before the season.
once I came over, I was 192. I mean, they just took all like the baby fat and all of that, like the bad stuff is going out of my body, and I was like,
So
that's
you trimmed down immediately when you
exactly,
got to campus.
exactly, exactly.
Is that?
But
Let me ask you. Some guys that's normal though. Is that normal for you?
oh yes, sir, it is. It is.
Okay, so you fluctuate during the season and stuff. Like your
Right.
guy, like mid season, you're 10 pounds lighter, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I mean, all of that's normal, but I want to try to like keep my weight like consistent, like throughout the season, stay healthy and all of that. So that's like my main goal, staying healthy throughout the season.
Todd Harris wants to know if you felt like you need to add muscle to be able to handle the SEC grind. Is that kind of your mindset?
I mean, it's really not. I mean, me going into the SEC, obviously I want to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and learn the playbook. So that's like my main goals right now. But other than just being here, I mean, I ain't really worried about the SEC because I know like my mindset going into every game, like I'm me, and what you got to line up to stop me, and nobody can stop me. That's my mindset.
Nurse Court wants to know if you've tried the Blue Store yet. Do you know what the Blue Store is? I don't know what that is.
No, I
I have no idea. All right,
I
all
don't,
right.
I don't.
We threw you a curveball. I don't know. Maybe you'll figure it out. Hey, roll by that dairy store sometime though. That's pretty good if you want to put on some pounds.
See, like right now, I'm at the it's like this apartment's called the River Bend, and we got like a market under, and they sell some good like soul food.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm eating that almost every day because it's like a home cooked meal, and that's exactly what I be needing.
Hey man, hey, that'll put those pounds on you for sure. So Jake Flint's strength and conditioning program, how different is that from what you're used to in high school?
I mean, it's way different. I mean, like the coaching way, like and like the coaching style. I mean, that's all the same, but like you doing like more reps and stuff like that, pushing you the workouts like longer. But I mean, they're simple. I mean, but it's like so if he put you in like an uncomfortable position, and that's what I really like because I don't wanna always like feel comfortable and all of that. I want to feel uncomfortable so I can adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like about the program.
Are you more tired, more beat out than you'd usually be, or do you still feel for kind of fresh?
I mean, like now, I mean, like I'm sure because like once we first got here, we was just like
Right.
chilling.
They kill you the first week, right?
Exactly, but like now, it's just like getting used to it over and over. I mean, we get up to like 6:30 to go work out and stuff like that. I'm over there by
Mhm.
like 5:50 just because I don't want to be late. I don't want to be the new guy.
Hey, look, that's got to be an adjustment, right?
Yes,
I mean, 5:50 a.m. workouts. I mean, that's
but
wild.
but no, the thing is, I'm actually used to it because in high school we had 5 a.m. workouts.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
That is a wild high school. They do it different in the 318. I see, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is there any like technology, maybe an app or something like that they're using with their workout and nutrition, or is it straightforward? Here's the paper, do it.
Oh no, sir. They got this app called Teamwork. It tells you the school schedule, workout plan. Like we got an app called Red Card. It tells you like what you can and can't eat. You get like so much amount of money on that a day, a certain time you can use it and stuff like that. So this app called Teamwork is your lifesaver. It is. It sends you like when you got a test or anything like that. It shows you class schedule, if class canceled and all of that.
It keeps you organized. I see.
Man, I love that app. I love it.
Okay, so on your stats, 10,000 yards rushing, which doesn't even sound real, by the way. That
Yeah.
sounds like I created a character in NCAA 14 and just let them go at it. But 10K yards, right?
Yeah.
So some of the recruiting services had you as low as the 42nd back in the country. Do you feel like that's disrespected?
I mean, I don't really care what those rankings say. I really don't. I mean, I look at it and I just laugh because me personally, I know I'm way better than those rankings. And I mean, I know I'm on that field, it's a different level, and I know rankings don't really mean nothing because I mean, look at Tom Brady. He's the best quarterback in the world. He wasn't ranked at all. And some of the NFL's guys, like Justin Jefferson, they was like low stars. So I mean, I don't really just care about it too much.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely the right attitude to have. I will say it's funny. I led with the 42 ranking. There was another service that had you as the number 4 back in the country. So, if anything, you were the most divisive player in the country with those rankings. But again, we know you don't care about that. All right, have you gotten to dig into the playbook at all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No.
All right, how much of that playbook do you feel like you have a grasp of yet?
I mean, I haven't really just learned like 100% of it. I'll say I've learned like the formation, like where to line up. So I'll say like 25% of it.
And I'm gonna play your highlights down here. Don't get distracted. Just talk with me. You've seen all these plays before.
Yes.
I always find it funny whenever I play a guy's highlights for the audience. They always like get like they feel like they have to comment or something. Um. So is there an expectation that by the time you get to the field for spring practice, you know that playbook already?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I will.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're on good pace to make it there for by the time spring practice starts?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. I feel like I know like what I already know. He told me I was above any other guy from when they first came, so that made me feel good about myself. And I was like, okay, I actually got this. So
In what
I,
sense? Physically or knowledge of the system?
I'd say just knowing the knowledge of the system. I mean, like it's there. All you got to do is
Yeah.
just lock in on it. So
Yeah. How are you so ahead? Was it that you ran a similar system in high school, or did you just get a head start studying your playbook?
uh, I'll see. I can say both because they run like inside type runs, and that's like basically like what we ran sometimes. But sometimes we
Yeah.
ran it like lead or counter and stuff like that. So I'll say the same.
So kind of a similar run scheme. I see. Um, so you haven't actually started practicing yet. How much
Right.
time have you gotten to see Frank Wilson since you got to campus, or has he
I,
kind of just been on the recruiting trail?
to be honest, I mean, I have like since I've been here, like I moved in the 14th. I seen him that day, but ever since after that, I haven't really. But he calls and check up on me every single day though to make sure I'm alright and stuff like that. So I mean, and I know and plus I know he's busy like recruiting on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, definitely he's busy, and it's only been 10 days.
right.
Let's cut him a little slack here. I'm sure you'll get to spend time with him soon enough. All right, I'm gonna rewind a little bit about your recruiting decision. Okay, you said it was your dream to play for LSU.
Right.
Did Brian Kelly still have to work for your commitment, or could he have said anything and you would have been an LSU Tiger?
I mean, he could have said anything and I was there. I mean, it wasn't even like the coach. It was like the team, like the coach and like the stadium. What got me? Because growing up, all I knew was LSU, and all I know is New Orleans Saints. So I mean, that's it. I mean, I wouldn't want to play nowhere else.
Well, and that's the exact reason why LSU landed a coach like Brian Kelly, because
Yeah,
there's guys like you all over this state who are exactly like that. I can't tell you how many times I talk to guys like you who are obviously very talented and they want to play ball at LSU, and there's lots of
man,
speed in this state, man.
it's a
Um, well, that kind of loses a little bit of luster for all my other recruiting questions. Did you look at the running back room at all and say, "Man, this is appealing," or were you ready to go in there no matter who they brought?
I didn't care who they brought in there. I wanted to go in there and compete for my spot.
Now, how do you feel like your odds of getting on the field are this year?
I feel like it's 100%. I mean, I go in, learn the playbook fast. I mean, and it is what it is. I mean, if I don't get the starting job, I mean, I'm gonna keep working regardless until I get on the field. I mean, I know those guys. They're the leaders. I mean, they're the upperclassmen. I know maybe next year those guys get to go to the lead. I'm gonna take as much advice as I can from those guys and learn from it.
Yeah. Well, and Brian Kelly uses a lot of running backs. I mean, even historically in Notre Dame, at least 4 or more guys get used every single year, and that was the case this year. Even when he didn't have 4 running backs at times this year, he still was using all those guys they had. Is that something that you've noticed or care about at all?
I mean, I ain't really just care about it. I mean, I really think it's a good thing because I mean, he keeping all the backs fresh, so I feel like that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, and it gives a chance for a younger guy to, come pop in, even though there's an established guy. It gives you a chance to look in there. All right, do you so Caleb Williams isn't on. I'm sorry, Caleb Williams. I'm thinking Heisman winner. Caleb Jackson isn't on campus yet. I assume you have some sort of you know him, right? You guys have talked, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you told him I'm going to kick your butt and be the first freshman off the bench? Are you talking any smack? Or
I mean, we really just having just talk smack and stuff like that. We actually happy to share the field together, and everybody think it's gonna be like a no, I'm playing. We're actually happy to share the field together because I mean, I know in the long run we both gonna need the breaks and stuff like that. We both want a lot of hits, so we both want to do whatever to help the teams win.
All right, and look, this question I'm trying to get as many recruits to give me insight on this as possible. I have a feeling I know where you're going to go with your answer on this, but I'm going to ask anyways. NIL, did that ever come up in your decision process? If I sign with LSU, I know that there's probably going to be opportunities to earn, sponsorships in college and make a little money on the side, or is that not anything that played into your decision at all?
I mean, me personally, to this day, I really don't care about the money and stuff like that. But I mean, if I can get it, I mean, I want it. But I mean, I don't really just care for it because football is more important to me. Football, it helps with my problems and stuff like that, and I feel like it's just a big relief. So that's why I love playing the game of football. But I mean, NIL, the money and stuff, it really wasn't a big part of it. I ain't really just pay attention to it.
Have you signed an NIL deal yet?
Right now, I signed one when I was in high school with Gordon.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I remember now. Yeah, but is that still going?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Got to get the contract guys on that. All right, guys. Any corporate sponsors watching right now? Look, hook my guy up, right? Man, look, I'm excited for your time here. Let's see if I have any questions for the crowd here from you. Let's see here. Look, Dane Bergeron's calling us yuppies, saying I prefer sushi and tofu to the blue. I don't know what the blue store is. Is that
I know what that is.
Is it like a meat shop? What's going on here? All right, hold, here's our answer, Trey. Blue Store is BR chicken chain made famous by Southern University location. Oh, I didn't know that. I know about Cane's.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you hit up that Cane's yet?
Oh, I eat that every day.
Oh yeah, they call that one the mothership. It was actually the first one ever. Let's see here. Dane also wants to tell you, got my season ticket. Oh, that's for Nurse Court. I'm sorry, but anyways, man, look. I'm so excited to have you on the show and finally get to meet you. Congratulations on becoming the LHSAA all-time leading rusher. I feel like if I were in your position, that would have gotten buried by the excitement of playing for LSU. So I hope you have some time to enjoy that and enjoy your time at LSU, man. Hey, Trey, where can the people give you a follow on social media? Instagram, Twitter?
I think my Instagram is Trey Holly 1. I got you. Text me. I'll follow you guys back. I mean, I ain't even gonna act famous with no. And I'll be on Twitter, some Trey too. So that's
there he is. Y'all go give him a follow. He said he'll give you a follow back. Hey, don't pull a Greg Brooks on me. Greg came on here and he said for the next 15 minutes only. I said, dude, you don't even follow me. So what's going on here, man? Now hold up. Shout out to you. You do follow me, so I appreciate the love, my guy.
Oh yeah.
All right, Trey. Look. Can't wait to see you as a Tiger, man. Have a great day.
Yes,
thanks for taking time with us.
Yes, sir.
That was LSU running back Trey Holly. What a fun kid to talk to. I really enjoyed talking with him. He's a guy I've been kind of wanting to bring on for a while. Glad we got to get him on. before we headed out. And as you can see from the highlights, as you can see from the stats, he's a special back, guys. He's going to be an impact player. I think he and Caleb Jackson are two incredibly talented guys who are going to make an impact at LSU. It'll be fun to see which one gets on the field. I guess Trey has the upper hand. I'll say this. I think it's 247 has him as the number 42 back in the country. Whoever is rating him that low should be embarrassed of themselves. I mean, usually it's ESPN's ratings where I'm looking at you like, that's a little sus, man. That's humiliating. But I mean, of course, Rivals got him at number 4. So what a while. The only reason to dislike what Trey Holly does is because of his size. I mean, he's 5'8", 5'9", but we've seen guys that size play well. And I understand it does come with some limitations, but film don't lie, man. Film don't lie. What else doesn't lie is that good meat is cheap. Cheap meat ain't good. And good meat ain't cheap. So remember Tramonte's for all of your stops for quality meats, prime ribs, Wagyu beef. If you're looking to impress, you know where to go. It's Tramonte's, located behind Parkview Baptist at Jefferson and Airline Highway.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
Arch is also 3A, but somehow ranked that much lower. Somehow they ranked Trey that much lower. Look, all I'm saying is Arch Manning got to Texas like 10 days ago, and he's fumbled his student ID twice. There's some serious ball security issues. Now, Arch, guys, we know what the deal is with Arch. It's that last name. And I don't think anybody wants to be the guy who hated on a Manning just because there were players who hated on Eli Manning coming out saying he wasn't as good as Peyton and all that good stuff. And, you know, Eli made him look stupid. And I think there's a lot of people not wanting to be the one who hates on a Manning. Yeah, we've talked about Arch Manning. God, so much we talked about Arch Manning. I could go without talking about him for a while. I hope the next time we have to talk about Arch Manning, because almost any time I talk about Arch Manning, all I can say is that he's overrated and he wasn't coming to LSU and blah, blah, blah. And then some guy from Notre Dame comes on my podcast and questions what I know about him and being overrated. And I'm like, dog, I've seen every quarterback in the state in person. You know, like I've seen him in person. I know what I'm looking for when I see a good quarterback, and he's not bad. He's just not the number one unanimous player in the country. I mean, you realize every recruiting service had him as the number one player in the country, making him one of the best all-time recruits in the history of the rankings. That was a little absurdness. He's a good player, but Von Bluesman said he looked like Alvin Kamara in the Superdome. Yeah, he's definitely solid, man. Definitely solid. And the moves, you got to love his moves too. And look, sounds like he's up, up the speed on the playbook. He's getting caught up pretty fast. Missed your comment there, Von Bluesman. Sorry. I hope the next time I talk about Arch Manning is when he's coming to Tiger Stadium as the starting quarterback when he's in the SEC. Alrighty. I'm going to have one more sponsor to thank. I'm going to knock them out, and then I'm going to go in to talk about some recruiting news, what we're looking up before signing day and as they kind of shift into the 2024 class. But I'd like to thank Celebrity Theaters for making our show possible all season long. They've got locations in Baton Rouge, Broussard, and Ruston. They've got nightly specials going on. Monday is Senior Savings Night. Tuesday, Bargain Tuesday. Wednesday, Half Price Arcades. Y'all, it's one of the most comfortable theaters. I'm glad to support them because it's a theater I love to go to all the time. They've got the reclining leather seats. It's locally owned. Louisiana's only locally owned theater. Because of that, you're guaranteed lower prices, better service, and a cleaner facility every time. Y'all go make sure to check them out. And of course, if you're looking for a private event, make sure to send them an email, events@celebrity theaters, to set up your next corporate event. Okay, so I'm gonna go through all the recruiting little tidbits here. If you've got a question, knock it up. If not, we'll call it a little early tonight. We'll head out. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the Trey Holly interview, and y'all make sure to return next week. Thursday night, I'll be doing my final show of the year. I'd appreciate all of y'all coming back and supporting the show like y'all have supported the show all year long. The biggest recruiting news LSU got last year was it landed Oregon State linebacker Omar Speights. And I'm sure y'all have heard ad nauseum. It was right after I did the show, so I'm sure y'all have heard ad nauseum about him. But that is such a big deal. He's one of the better defenders in the country at stopping the run. I believe he led the country in solo tackles against the run last year. That's very impressive, okay? He's working on his coverage skills. It's improved a good bit throughout his career, but he is a hard-nosed, 6'1", 230-pound linebacker. He's what you want right in the middle of your defense. And it'll be interesting to see, does he take that middle back? Because, most people are going to pencil him in at that outside backer spot where Demario Tolan fit, but he's actually more of a fit for the middle. Are they going to put Harold Perkins in the middle, or are they going to keep Harold Perkins on the edge where he can kind of get to the quarterback more? It'll be interesting to see that. But regardless, Omar Speights is going to be in the field. He got 300 tackles on his career. He's a fifth-year player. He started 4 years at Oregon State. By the way, Oregon State was a good team. They won 10 games in Pac-12 out there this year. I mean, they are no slouch, and he was first team all Pac-12. That's such a big deal, guys. And because of his addition, LSU now has the number 1 transfer portal class in the country. Overall talent, LSU number 4 overall in the country, which is a big deal. I don't know if y'all saw Georgia and Bama's recruiting classes. They were spectacular. So LSU, according to the rankings, overall talent is not far behind those guys. And of course, the recruiting class, we talked about how the recruits were getting adjusted with the On3, updated recruiting rankings, all that stuff. LSU actually got bumped up to number 6 in the recruiting class cycle. So, hey, you love to see it. Right now, the only guy I've really got an eye on for the 2023 cycle that may come on is Jamel Howard, the Chicago defensive tackle we talked about earlier. I think he'd be a big deal to bring in just because you don't have a defensive tackle. Remember, my personal philosophy on a recruiting class is you should be able to field a football team with it. You should be able to fill all 22 starting positions and then use the extras to fortify positions of need. Now, defensive tackle, they went to the portal. They brought in Jordan Jefferson. They brought in big guys, Oki Agofu, to be able to fill it. A bunch of edge rushers, too, who might be able to bulk up and slide inside. But they've hit the portal hard to fill that need. They brought in Jalen Lee out of Florida. And then, of course, Mason Smith is coming back, and so is Mekhi Wingo. So you're going to have some talent there, but you still don't want to bring in a freshman class ever where you go over on a position group. I mean, I remember they did that with Leonard Fournette. They brought in 0 backs before his class, and it ended up creating some discontinuity at the running. They were kind of shallow after at a certain point there. So I'm not a big fan of doing that, even for a special recruit. Just anywhere they go, they're going to have to compete with guys. I mean, quarterback's a little different story, but you do need a quarterback every year. No quarterback's going to look up and say, well, last year they signed so-and-so. Well, if that guy's good enough to scare your quarterback away, good. You got a guy good enough to scare a quarterback away. There's very, very, very few guys that good. But 2024, Jamar Cain went out to Georgia, talked to a couple defensive linemen. Champ Thompson, one of them, he took a good look at, and I hear he'll be looking to visit Justin Green, one of the top-rated defensive linemen for the class, and one of the top-rated players. That's good to get on those guys. We also have a really good update on TJ Lindsey on the site. Y'all go check that out. Really good story we wrote there. And of course, JJ Harrell, wide receiver for 2024, had a really good visit Saturday. to LSU. So those are a couple guys to keep an eye on. LSU's going to keep working on Colin Simmons as one of the big, marquee names nationally. He's a highly rated 5-star linebacker. This 2024 class is going to happen fast, y'all. Got Colin Hurley and Tavion Galloway working the recruiting trails hard. They are tweeting at everybody. They've really wanted to step up and be leaders of this class and make it something special. So it's going to be a fun and fast summer. That's for sure. It'll flash by before you know. By the time I come back on this show in August, that class is going to look really different. All right, let's get to your comments here. I hope Trey brings running back excitement like Cecil Collins, Lenny Fournette, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He definitely seems excited to be here. LSU has a 6'6", 300-pound lineman commit to for 2023. Defensive lineman? I think you're thinking about DJ Chester. That sounds like DJ Chester if you're asking me. DJ Chester is an offensive lineman. Alrighty, guys. No more comments in the chat. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. We're up to 17,000 subscribers on this channel, making us one of the fastest growing LSU channels out there. I appreciate all of your support. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe, bell. Share the video if you enjoyed hearing from Trey Holly, man. Share it out there to your Twitter, to your Facebook. We certainly do appreciate all your support. And thank you to all our sponsors, Tramonte's, Alumni Hall, Celebrity Theaters, for making everything we do possible on this show. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great night.